Hello, fellow quailonians, hard to pronounce. My name is Christian, and today here on the channel we're gonna show you product packaging. So let's get started. I'm with Undique. Undique is 4 years now business, actually since November this year. And I created this business because I started with quail, also with some other things along the way, but I got stuck with quail because I love those birds. And one thing I realized very quickly is I don't want to have waste products when I, have the quail for eggs or meat. So there's so many things, and I'm surprised how many things you can make out of quail. I didn't come up with all of those ideas. I'm sure other people came up with them as well, maybe at the same time, maybe before me, maybe after me. Who cares, right? I mean, important I think it is that if you raise an animal on a farm, on your homestead, that you use as much of the animal as you can. I think that's a responsible thing to do. And today I show you some of the products we are selling here at Undique. Undique, by the way, can also be pronounced as Undique. What does it actually mean? It means from all sides, from all directions. Undique is an English word. Undique is Latin. So when I created the company, I had in mind to create a network as well. So we are a network of small farms and homesteads. Right now we are shipping, for example, fresh or hatching eggs from 7 different states and 10 different locations. And we look always for cooperation partners because for private reasons, I do not have the option to just expand like crazy in regards to how many birds I can keep, but I have issues keeping up with producing some of the products, having enough birds to produce some of the products because they are selling so well, which is a great thing to have. There's other products don't sell so well, but regardless, let's dive into the products. You see the basket here, and that's a sample basket of some of the products we make here at Undique. Again, as I mentioned, I couldn't do that all on my own, so shout out to all the nice people I'm working with from all walks of life, from all sizes, like small homestead to bigger farm, from 50 quail birds to 5,000 quail birds. So let's dive into one product here, and that's an older packaging, but that's what I came up with about 4 years ago, and I keep some of the packaging because I have a little, I would say, affection for product packaging. I really have an interest in it, and I actually do collect some older product packaging as well. Maybe that's in my genes. My father used to work in a factory making packaging for juice and milk out of carton paper. So, but let's talk about the products. My daughter Sophie, she's 14 years old. She has now 3 cats, and we were sitting in the car, and it was in the beginning when I had the quail, and she was talking about what we can do with the quail. And when I mentioned to her, when I butcher quail, I cut the wings off because there's no meat on them. And so what are you going to do with it, right? Some people feed that to their dogs, some people throw it just away on their compost, whatever. Some people maybe came up at the same time than I did, I don't know, or even before me, that you could make a cat toy out of it. So I came up with the name Wing on the String, and that was the initial packaging. A simple shipping label, 4 by 6 inch shipping label on Canva. I just designed, that's actually our old logo as well. We don't ship it like this anymore, but yeah, so I designed it a bit with cats in mind, with puppies in mind. And you can look these products up on our website. There's a link in the description. And so that's what I came up with in the first place, that I don't have, wings, have to throw them out. Back at that time, I didn't have a dog, and so, nobody to play with the wings, so I figured I could ship that to customers, right? And that's what I started doing, and it evolved to a stage that I buy those wings. I met people on Facebook and other places online, other quail business groups and so on, really, really lovely people. And I say, hey, if you don't have use for your quail wings, send it on to me. Just 2 things are very important. They need to be dehydrated, right? No salt, no chemicals, no nothing. completely natural but dehydrated, so they are completely dry, that they don't form mold. For me, the packaging is important to preserve the product, right? Protect it from the environment, shouldn't get wet, for example, right? And so that's how I started off, and now I have I think 30 to 40 people across the nation who help out with that, supplementing the feed cost when they cull the quail. They dehydrate their wings either in a dehydrator or in a conventional oven. It's possible on the lowest setting, 160 Fahrenheit, around jerky temperature on a dehydrator. Depending where you are, if you're more humid location, right, you might want to do it longer, like in Florida. If you're in a location where it's less humid, you might have to do it shorter. Quality control is important, so all the wings come through here. We package them, get them ready for the customer, and then they go out the door. I don't open this one. If you're into quail, you know how a quail wing looks like, and again, you can look it up on our website. So great product. It's used for puppies, it's used for cats. They love it. Some puppies get so excited, some dogs, including mine. When she was little, even now, honestly, I can't let her anywhere alone. And she's not allowed in the packaging area anyway when I package. But yeah, they get so excited that they might eat the wing as well. And I had customers asking me, "Oh my God, what should I do?" My dog got so excited during training for bird dog training, for example. It did swallow the wing. My dog, and I can only talk about my dog, I'm not a vet, right? I'm not a medical specialist for dogs or cats or anything. I can just tell you from my experience, my dog accidentally ate 20 wings in one sitting. I took precautions that this doesn't happen anymore, because when she went to poop, there were feathers all over the backyard. Therefore, we print, for example, on the label on the product, be careful, it contains small parts, it can be a choking hazard, right? You should always monitor your pet if they play with a new toy, or if you feed them something new, you should always monitor them. So far, I knock on wood, there were no issues. We sold thousands of them so far, and no problem. But if in doubt, of course, check with your vet. So that's one byproduct. The wing, we sell them as a pair of wing or different packs, 2-pair wing for crafting, for example, as well. Lots of lovely craft people out there. So a lot of use cases for the wings, and yeah, definitely something you should not waste when you get into quail, or if you are already into quail. Speaking of wings, there's feathers, and I hope you can see them well. That's another product we created for the guys out there who like to, go fly fishing, or for the ladies out there who are into crafts, right, with feathers. Usually we take the rooster feathers from the chest. They're nice and long and colorful. Different variations, we try to mix it in there with the colors from the different colors of the quail, and try to keep the product as cheap as possible, because honestly, the feathers, to produce the product doesn't take much time. As you also see with the packaging, we took a simple food container in this case to prevent the feathers from being flattened during shipping, right? We ship a lot. We sell currently on 10 different platforms online, and so we ship a lot of those products. I actually barely ever sell anything offline, meaning in a farmer's market or in retail stores. That's a topic for another day. But so we need to protect those fragile feathers, because people want to tie for fly fishing their stuff. People want to use it for crafting, so we have to protect them. We can't completely flatten them and destroy them. So it works pretty well in this container. People could come up with other ones, other ideas. I wanted to keep it as cheap as possible. Again, a label like that comes down to about a cent or two. The printing itself doesn't really cost anything, because it's thermal printed. Has a good side and a bad side, as you can tell here by just looking at the label. It fades over time, right? That used to be white. It doesn't sell that often, maybe gives you a little hint, you know, if you look at the label. And but it would be a waste to throw that product out. So when I butcher, you know, I pick them, I make sure there is nothing else on those feathers, that they are nice and clean, obviously, because people, you know, might use them for crafts and other things. So nice little product. The biggest price on this product is actually the packaging itself, and the shipping, right? Needs to get to the customer, and selling fees on the different platforms. So yeah, great product. Don't throw out all those feathers, keep some of them. Package them nicely up, make a label. If you want to have that label design, let me know. I email it to you. Let's move on. So many products in there. This is another product. A lot of people, including me, love their quail eggs and keep them for keep quail for having also your fresh breakfast eggs, right? So with this product here, I used a plastic container for several different reasons. There's another variation of this product, but let's dive into it. What is that product even? If you look at it like that, guess what could it be, right? Let's open it up. There is no label on it right now. This is just making a new batch, basically, to replenish the inventory. But let's take a look. So I said breakfast eggs. So if you have breakfast, or use the eggs otherwise for other products, which we're going to see some of in a few minutes, you usually use quail egg scissors and cut them open, you know, put them, scramble them, eat them. Lovely, you make breakfast. And what most people do, they throw the shell out, or they use it for their own garden, for their own plants. You see there's more products. So you were wondering, like 103 products out of one bird, out of a quail. How is that possible? If you add it all up, let me know your count right now in the comments, how many products I already kind of mentioned. And if you want to see more videos like that, yeah, just subscribe, leave me a like. Why do I even say that? Because I think I watch too much YouTube. You guys know if you like something to do that. Anyway, talking so fast because I have to go to an appointment soon, and I was late recording this, and I want to keep as scheduled to do this every Wednesday. So breakfast done. What you do? I wash those. Then they make an extra round in the dehydrator to kill anything off which might be, you know, causing smell. We don't want to have that. But if they are nicely washed and nicely dried, a little extra round in the dehydrator for an hour or two, just to make sure they are super dry. I have a product. Out of this product, I can make now multiple different products. This specific product, maybe that gives you already an idea. It's something I bought. I didn't make that. But what I did make, and I had a lot of fun doing that with my kids, I made a sample, a craft sample. Maybe not perfect, but hey, it's progress, not perfection. A little quail egg candle. I had some leftover wax from a bigger candle. This one is smelling like lavender. You know, you heat it up, pour it in there. You cut the, how you call it in English? Flint? Put it in there, you know. Make sure, that's why we have the container as well. People can be a bit messy, right? They pour it in there, the wax, and in the end, you have a candle. Now, obviously, we're living in the US, right? Unless you watch this from another area. If you watch from Austria, hello, that's where I'm from. Servus. So yeah, product label, obviously, you should maybe mention, it could be a fire hazard. I'm kind of person is like, you know, stating the obvious things. A candle, yes, could be a fire hazard. If you burn that somewhere, don't do it on your table or just on the wood. Maybe not the best idea, right? So since insurance companies want to make sure they don't have to pay out money for the product or general liability insurance, what you should have if you sell this stuff online, unless you just supply this stuff to me and I resell it. You know, these insurance companies, they want to make sure that you have certain warning statements on your products. So do a bit research. I just recently had a insurance audit. If you're a couple of years in business, your insurance want to know, what's the risk, right? That's their business. They want to estimate the risk because based on that is how much you pay for your insurance. Anyway, we're here to talk about the product, not the insurance. But you see, a lot of things to think about when you make a product. Anyway, I put one sample like this in this, what I call a craft kit, a quail candle craft kit, right? It's not right now, winter time is coming up. Here in New Jersey, some people might not want to go and do much outside with all those drones flying around. Who knows? Do something creative on your own or with your kids, grandkids, right? And make something nice. Looks great. If you have a couple of them, you could use some oyster shell on a nice plate and then arrange it there. Looks awesome. So what we supply is the base material for that. The wax you need to have on your own, so you can decide as a customer, right, what kind of smell you want to have. And also, again, with that, you use the wax, which, is from a candle which already burned down, which would be normally a waste product. So you recycle, and we recycle. Again, we recycle those eggs. Yeah, the most expensive here on the whole thing, I would say, is again, obviously on the product itself, the shipping. If it's online, next would be the egg carton. We sell those as well. So check out our website. And yeah, well, the egg you would have maybe thrown out anyway, or just used it in your garden, or made another product out of it. But that's basically what we have in there. This stuff you can buy online, right? And you give something creative to people and provide them something which is made and laid in the USA. That's what Undique is all about, or Undique in English. Yeah, made and laid in the USA. So let's move on. Oh my God, you can talk about 2 products or 3 products for half an hour. My kids say, don't do this, don't post this to TikTok. It's way too long, people don't watch that. I'm still gonna post it there anyway. But if it's too long for that, just check it out on YouTube then. What we got here. So over the years, obviously, I got a little bit more professional. But I stick with some products which are still simpler for now. You learn as you do it, right? And you learn by trial and error. And that's how I learned it. And I don't have the budget for a graphic designer, a marketing expert, a packaging expert, all these lovely things. So I came up with it on my own. Here, a lovely box. You can get them in all kinds of dimensions, obviously, and I try to use certain standard sizes in regards to shipping cost. And after, there's a lot of things to think about, and again, to protect the product, but also to present it nice. So I open it here already, but this is a pregnancy announcement gender reveal craft kit. We're still in the crafting area here, I realize. Let's take a look into that one. So I had an issue with my lung. I'm a former smoker, former firefighter. I used to work in a lab with a lot of chemicals when I was younger. Lots of bad stuff went in there. And actually my doctor told me hollowing quail eggs is a great idea for my lung. I call it the butt kissing session, where you basically, again, you have breakfast, for example, or use then the egg stuff for another product, which I'm going to show. And you poke a little hole either on the bottom and top, or just on one side, maybe a bit a bigger one for this product, a little bit bigger one. So one side is fine. If you don't want to blow it out yourself, you could use a pump. People are very creative, use all kinds of options. We buy those eggs as well from you because I don't have the time all day long to blow them out, and I want to give a lot of other people the opportunity to make money with quail, to substitute their feed cost, or help people to get their business off the ground, right? Anyhow, you see shipping foam. You can cut them into small pieces as well, which I did there in this case to protect the eggs for shipping, that they stay in there. In this product, we have 3 hollowed eggs in there for the customer. So in case one breaks when they are crafting it, or if you got twins coming up, or if you want to use, you know, many different use cases, right? Always think about the use case of your product. Think about how the customer would like to use this product. And what we do here is we do interviews with customers. We do that online, we do that with neighbors, we do that with friends, we do that through research websites. There's a lot of different options. We ask people when we are in the process of creating a product, what do you think of this? How would you like it? And so on and so on. Anyway, eggs again are in here. We have here some moss, which should be then used to make a nest for the eggs. I just realized this prototype is not ready yet. There's one label missing. We have a label in there with some instructions, for example. We provide some glitter, which you can buy on michaels.com, for example, or other places. That's where we sell some of that stuff as well. We have a lovely little box in there as well. So imagine the lovely woman wants to give that message to her husband, so she might know what it is. She might not know what it is. That's why we have this glitter with all different colors, but we have also a pink one and a blue one, and so it's catered for everybody. They fold that lovely box together, they fill the glitter with the corresponding color you want to have. We have a little cork you can put on top. You can just glue it back that you don't see it. We have here little labels you can write on them. Crack me, it's, you know, or it's a surprise, or I'm excited, whatever you want to put on it. We actually do have the option here where we put it in English and Spanish. You know, it's a boy, it's a girl. You need to be a bit crafty, so we pre-printed that to get that into the egg. Is a bit of a work, that's why. And if you break the egg in the process, hey, we shipped you 3, not just 1. Good thing. So that's the product really in a nutshell. Obviously, if you don't want to know exactly what it is, you can ask a friend to craft it for you if they know the result of your test, you know, boy or girl or whatever nowadays. We're gonna identify later with. That's fine for me anyway. But you get the idea. That's the product. Looks great, and I think gives people opportunity if they don't live nearby. Somebody who has quail who might offer that on a farmer's market, to order that online as well. Simple label. This case there is a UPC code on it. We sell that, for example, on walmart.com as well. So they require a so-called UPC code. That's the number you see on most products here in the US, starting with an 8. If you need a code like that, let me know. I sell them. You need to be ensure you sell them from a reliable source, which is, you know, we can go on gs1.com as well. They sell them in different packages, or is it .org? Or you come just to undique.us, we have them as well. We use a lot of those codes, and it can be printed on, can be used on a cash register, right? Or, for example, walmart.com. Whew, so much talking. Good that this is not a live, so I could cut this out, but who cares, right? Okay, now we got the egg empty. Logical step, right? What are we gonna do with the egg? If we don't eat it all, you know, you got a lot of egg, let's say it's summertime, there's less demand obviously for hatching eggs, especially for shipping. Also during certain times in the winter, depending, you know, how your business is structured, how much you sell of the eggs. You have eggs left over, right? You want to use them, you don't want to let them go to waste. Sure, you could feed them to your pigs if you have pigs. I don't have pigs. So I already hollowed the egg. Next step, freeze dryer or dehydrator, depending on what you got. Freeze dryer, I think, is the best option because it's longer shelf stable. Also, it doesn't apply high temperature on it. So the structure of the egg itself looks different. But this is freeze-dried quail egg. We make right now a ton of different products out of that. This is a food topper, a little shaker, as I call it. Again, labels on it, expiry date in this case, right? It says it's for pets, it's whole quail eggs, so that means in this case we put in the egg white and the egg yolk. Neatly packaged, sealed, goes out there, sells depending on the platform, depending on if there is a promotion running for $6.99 or $9.99, and is a great extra source of protein and other lovely minerals which are in the quail egg. I call it the Parmesan for your dog, right? Depending what you feed your dog, it doesn't really matter. You sprinkle a bit on top. My dog goes nuts for that. The neighbor's dogs goes nuts for that. Again, speaking of nuts, people can be allergic to certain things, as well as dogs and cats or any other animals can be allergic to certain things. So obviously it should be not advised to feed that to a person or animal. And this is marketed for pets, not for human consumption. But you should not feed that to a dog if you know their belly does not really cope well with egg, right? So great product. Again, I could put 1,000 disclaimers on the label. I don't have so much space for that. So I, go with the common sense. Nobody forced me to put that on there. It's in the product description somewhere. And yeah, so that's the product we have there. Sells great, and thanks again to the guys who helped me making this lovely product. The obvious thing I didn't state, but pickled eggs, I guess I don't really need to get into that. If I should, let me know. Sorry, a little phone call interrupted my recording, but that was maybe a good thing, because I realized this video is already 23 minutes long, quite long, and I'm not even halfway through this basket. Let's just think about a few things. What I mentioned to summarize, and I'm gonna do, if you like, a second part. People show interest in this kind of stuff and want to see more. Summarizing, packaging, labeling, or product design, right? One thing is, your product can be unique, can be not, right? This country is a big country, this world is a big world. People have similar ideas. People might have the exact same treat, just different packaging, right? It's just how it works. There will be always competition, and that's good. Customers should have a choice. Product packaging should serve its purpose. So protect the product, right? Make sure the product stays fresh. Should inform the customer, right? In my opinion, it also should not be too pricey, because you don't want to inflate the cost of your product just because of the packaging, right? Obviously, there is regulations. Depending where you're selling your products, there are certain regulations, or where you manufacture them. What should be on the product packaging. So I cannot give a kind of blanket advice here. The only advice I can give you, research that, right? In regards to selling a product, research that. What can you sell? Where? Sometimes even one farmer's market could have different regulations than another farmer's market. One state has another regulation than another state. So it's a bit of a complex topic, but it's great fun to see what you can make out of those great birds, because you don't want to waste anything of them. That's the way I look at it. I want to make customers happy. I'm always excited when I design a new product or come up with an idea, or I see something and I say, that's shipped in from across the world, right? Why don't we make that locally here? What's the reason? Yeah, maybe we can't make it for the same price, but maybe people want to have a choice if something is made or laid in the USA, or if it's shipped in from countries I can't even pronounce, right? So I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Sorry that I talked so fast. If you want to leave me feedback, I always like to learn. I hope you too. I hope you learned something. I might learn something from you, and I hope so. Leave something in the comments. If it's something you want to shoot me privately, go on the website, use the contact form. If you have a question you don't want to ask in the comments, same thing. I wish you a great rest of your day, and hopefully you tune in next week again. Thanks for watching.